I think it's time to talk about weight loss. I've been all the way from 200 to down to 155 pounds, so I know a bit of when it comes to cutting weight. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you guys 13 tips in order to cut weight easier, faster, and smarter. I'm going to split this video into 3 topics: training tips, dieting tips, and eating tips. Tip number 1 is to increase your workout volume, or the amount of sets and reps that you do, as well as the frequency of how much you go to the gym. When you're losing weight, it's more important than ever to try to work out as much as possible to retain all the muscle mass that you can. Since your body is more catabolic now because it's not getting the nutrients it needs to grow, you need to do everything you can to hold on to your muscle tissue. And so to do that, you need to create adaptation and create tension on your muscles by working it out more. So increase your workout reps, sets, proximity to failure, as well as your frequency in order to hold on to as much muscle mass as possible during a cut. Tip number 2 is don't specialize in any body part training, because the whole point of weight loss is to cut down fat, not to build muscle. So there's no point in putting all of your energy into building a certain body part, because that's never going to happen. So instead of training specific body parts during a cut, you should aim to train your entire body as a whole to retain as much muscle mass as possible. Tip number 3, when it comes to cardio for fat loss, do steady state cardio instead of high intensity interval training. So for example, don't be running as fast as you can and jogging and sprinting thinking that this is going to make you lose weight faster. Instead, opt for more steady state cardio, such as walking on incline on a treadmill for like 30 minutes at 3 miles an hour, or doing consistent stair climbers every single day. Not only is steady state cardio easier to adhere to, but it also yields better and more efficient fat loss during your weight loss journey. Lastly, for training tips, tip number 4 for cutting weight is to increase your daily movement, also called N.E.A.T. N.E.A.T stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and that's really a sciencey term for just move more, fidget more, tap your foot more, walk more, just get up and just make your body more active throughout the day. When you're losing weight, it's very easy to become sluggish and tired. You don't want to move, you don't want to blink, you don't want to talk, you don't want to tap your foot. You just want to sit down and veg and conserve as much energy as possible. So go move around and just have these small little movements to increase your overall N.E.A.T score, and that's going to add up to a lot of calories burned throughout the day. Now that we're done with training tips, let's move into the dieting tips of this video. Tip number 5 is to aim for 1% of total body weight lost per week on your weight loss journey. 1% body weight lost every single week is that nice sweet spot that a lot of people can adhere to. Any less and you probably want to speed up the process. Anything more, you might be losing weight really drastically. You're going to be cutting your calories a lot. You're going to plateau faster, and you're also going to be more likely to lose muscle as well. So stick that sweet spot of 1% of your body weight per week, and roughly for people in a normal healthy weight range, that looks about 1 pound to 1.5 pounds a week maximum total for weight loss. Tip number 6, when it comes to losing weight, the only thing that you need to be worried about is being in a calorie deficit. It doesn't matter what diet you're on. If fasting helps you eat less calories, do that. If doing keto or doing a carnivore diet, if any of these new diets that you feel like might help you eat less calories, then do that. It doesn't matter what the specific diet model is, as long as you're eating less calories than you burn. Can you see that? I am making this video at 4:50 in the morning because I want you guys to have the best tips possible when it comes to cutting weight. So if you guys appreciate my effort and you guys appreciate this video, I'd much appreciate it as well. If you guys like this video, share it with your friends, and also comment down below any cutting tips that you guys like to follow when you're trying to lose weight. Tip number 7 is during fat loss, remember to take diet breaks after 8 to 12 weeks of consistent fat loss. A lot of people will make the mistake of not taking diet breaks, and they'll just try to keep on losing weight for weeks and weeks and weeks, and over many months, they'll just eventually plateau. They cut too many calories, they're mentally fatigued, they're physically fatigued, and they aren't losing weight as much, as efficient as it used to be. And so I recommend that you guys take a diet break for 2/3 of the time, or 1/3 of the total time that you have been cutting weight. So if you've been cutting for, let's say, 10 weeks and you want to continue that, I'd recommend take about a 3-week diet break, reset, allow your calories to increase to maintain a little bit, maintain that current weight before you restart your cutting weight again. And finally, to end dieting tips, tip number 8, for most of you guys to be in a caloric deficit and actually cut weight, what you want to do is just cut your calories by around 250 to 500 calories on the top end. So once you're starting out, figure out how much food you need to eat to maintain your weight, and then just lower that by 250 calories. You can take out those calories however you want, but just make sure you're staying consistent week to week. By the end of the week, if you're not seeing enough weight loss, reduce those calories again by another 250 calories, and do that until the end of your cut. And now finally moving on to the last section of this video is my eating tips when it comes to cutting weight and losing fat. So tip number 9 is to avoid liquid calories when you're on a cut. Liquid calories are simply not filling, they're not satiating, and they don't make you feel like you ate a lot. And so what you want to do when you are losing weight is you always want to feel full so you don't have cravings for food and cheat on your diet. Opt for solid food. This will create more volume in your stomach and make you feel more full. Tip number 10 is to use caffeine on your diet strategically. A lot of people will use caffeine just to wake up in the morning. However, use that caffeine and tailor it for around when you're feeling hungry. Remember, caffeine doesn't just wake you up, it's also a hunger suppressant, which means when you drink caffeine, you're going to be able to stay full and not feel hungry for an extended amount of time. So during your weight loss, when you're hungry but your meal is still a few hours away, try having some caffeine, and that will definitely reduce your hunger cravings. Tip number 11 is to drink diet sodas when you're cutting weight. I know there's a lot of negativity around aspartame. However, not only do diet sodas have 0 calories and will not make you cheat on your diet, but they're also carbonated and have caffeine in them sometimes, which are both going to make you feel full and stave off hunger for longer. Tip number 12 is to eat whole foods. A lot of people want to try to cheat in their diet and try to fit cookies and cakes into their macros and saying, well, I'm still in a caloric deficit. See, I'm eating all these cookies, but it's still within my calories. Yeah, but the thing is that junk food and ultra processed foods aren't very satiating. They taste good, but they don't make you feel full. Whereas if you eat a lot of whole foods, whole animal products, and low-fat dairy, vegetables, and fruits, and these are very satiating. They make you feel very full and for a low amount of calories. So instead of doing junk food, opt for whole food options. And finally, guys, to wrap up this video with lucky number 13, what you guys want to do is always remember during your cut, eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Doesn't matter. Shoot for it. That's the number one thing that matters. It's okay if you undershoot your carbs or undershoot your fats. If you're not eating your protein, then you're not really giving your best shot and retaining your muscle mass and looking your best for when you're finally done with your fat loss. So remember, eat your protein from any source that you can while also maintaining that caloric deficit for proper fat loss. And so that pretty much wraps up the video, guys. I hope you guys found these 13 tips helpful when it comes to dieting, losing weight, eating, as well as training. If you guys like nutrition videos just like this, make sure to like the video down below. Also share with your friends, those of you guys who are cutting weight as well, for easier tips to lose weight faster, smarter, and more efficiently. If you guys want to learn how to transform your body entirely, check out my full guide right here. If you guys also want to check out my video on how to properly bulk as a natural athlete, I have that video posted right over here. So without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys in that next video.